Welcome to Module 12, the Business Architecture Perspective. If previous modules taught us how to analyze individual problems, this one zooms out to help you see the entire organization as one interconnected system. Business architecture is all about alignment, aligning strategy, capabilities, and operations to deliver measurable business outcomes. Think of it as the blueprint that helps leaders turn vision into reality. It's what connects a company's big ideas, like customer centricity or digital transformation, to the everyday activities that actually make those ideas happen. In this session, you'll learn how to define, model, and communicate that connection clearly, so that strategy isn't just a document, it becomes a living, operational reality. By the end, you'll understand not only how to analyze business architecture, but also how to apply it, whether you're designing processes, planning enterprise transformation, or preparing for your CBAP exam. As we start, let's look at what this module will help you achieve. First, we'll explore the business architecture perspective itself, what it means, and how it supports organizational alignment and strategy execution. Next, we'll dive into the business motivation model, the structure that defines why the organization exists, what it wants to achieve, and how it plans to get there. We'll then move into process and governance, understanding how an organization ensures that what's being done daily stays aligned with its strategic intent. And finally, we'll explore applied techniques, including stakeholder mapping, capability modeling, and value chain analysis, to give you practical tools you can apply in real-world business transformation. This module will help you become the kind of business analyst who doesn't just solve problems, but helps shape strategic direction. Let's begin by grounding ourselves in what the business architecture perspective really means. In simple terms, it's the way we connect strategy formulation to execution. Imagine your organization as a living ecosystem. The strategy is the brain, setting direction and purpose. Capabilities are the muscles, the things your organization can do, and processes are the nerves, carrying out the instructions that make action possible. When those elements are aligned, the organization moves gracefully. When they're disconnected, strategy may be strong, but execution stumbles. That's why business architecture exists, to keep everything synchronized. It does this through 4 key components: the business motivation model, which defines vision and goals; capability mapping, which defines what the organization does; value streams, which show how value flows to customers; and process and governance alignment, which ensures consistency in execution. So, if strategy is the destination, business architecture is the GPS that keeps everyone on course, from the boardroom to the front line. Now, let's explore the foundation of all business architecture, the Business Motivation Model, or BMM. This model answers one of the most important strategic questions: why do we exist, and how do we achieve what we want? It helps organizations articulate their ends, means, and influences. The ends define the what and why, the organization's vision, goals, and objectives. For example, a hospital's vision might be to deliver world-class patient care. Its goal might be to reduce patient wait times by 30%. The means describe the how, the strategies and tactics used to achieve those goals. That hospital might introduce teleconsultations or automate diagnostics as part of its strategy. And finally, influences represent both internal and external factors, like regulations, market trends, technology, or even company culture that shape and constrain how strategies are executed. By defining these clearly, you give structure to the organization's intent. As a BA, you can use the BMM to trace every initiative back to the company's purpose, ensuring nothing is done in isolation. This is critical for your CBAP exam, where linking requirements and designs back to strategic objectives is a recurring theme. Next, let's talk about capability mapping, one of the most practical and powerful tools in business architecture. A capability represents what an organization is able to do, not how it's done or who does it. For instance, in a retail business, order fulfillment, customer service, and inventory management are all capabilities. They describe the stable abilities the business relies on to deliver value, even if technology or teams change. Why is capability mapping so valuable? Because it provides a stable foundation. It helps leaders make sense of complexity, to see the organization not as a set of departments, but as a network of strengths. You'll often follow 3 steps. Define the capability scope, decide what to map and how detailed it should be. Group into domains, for example, sales, operations, finance, and IT. Assess maturity, evaluate each capability's current performance and importance to strategy. The result is a capability heat map, a visual tool that shows where the organization excels and where investment is needed. Think of it as an X-ray for the business. It reveals what's strong, what's weak, and where the pain points lie. And just like a doctor, your job as a BA is to help the organization heal and grow. Now, let's move to value stream mapping, which shows how value actually flows through the organization. While capabilities define what the business can do, value streams define how it delivers value to customers and stakeholders. For example, in an insurance company, a value stream might begin when a customer submits a claim and end when that claim is approved and payment is made. Along the way, there are multiple stages: intake, validation, assessment, approval, each adding some form of value. When we map this, we can see exactly where bottlenecks, redundancies, or delays occur. The benefit? Leaders can make targeted improvements that directly affect the customer experience and operational efficiency. You can think of a value stream as a customer journey from the organization's perspective. And when combined with capability mapping, it gives you both the what and the how of value creation, something every CBAP professional must understand to translate strategy into action. Next, we focus on business process alignment, ensuring that the processes people follow every day are aligned with the strategy the business wants to achieve. This is where theory meets reality. The first step is to map as-is processes to understand how things work today. Then, you design to-be processes, the future state, aligned with business goals. For example, if your strategic goal is to improve customer onboarding time, you might streamline redundant steps or automate data entry. Once processes are mapped, they must align with capabilities. Each process should clearly support a business capability, and that capability should link back to a strategic objective. Finally, identify improvement opportunities, inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and redundancies that hold the business back. The benefits of alignment are significant: improved efficiency and agility, better governance consistency, and stronger strategic execution. This approach is not just about mapping workflows, it's about connecting every operational detail to strategic intent. That's what makes an analyst truly indispensable. Organizations don't operate in isolation. They're part of broader business ecosystems, networks of partners, suppliers, regulators, and customers that all shape how value is delivered. Understanding this ecosystem helps you identify interdependencies, who influences your success, and how governance supports accountability. Take a global airline, for instance. Its ecosystem includes airports, regulators, maintenance partners, travel agencies, and passengers. If governance isn't clearly defined, who decides on pricing, who handles delays, who manages compliance, chaos quickly follows. That's why governance provides the structure for decision-making and accountability. Key governance considerations include organizational structure and who has decision rights, how information flows across levels, dependencies on vendors and partners, and risk management frameworks that ensure compliance and stability. As a BA, you might create an ecosystem map to visualize these relationships, showing how internal and external entities interact. It's one of the most strategic tools you can use to ensure alignment across the entire enterprise. Now that we've covered concepts, let's look at the core analytical techniques that help bring them to life. Stakeholder mapping identifies the key players, their interests, influence, and relationships. It ensures that every change initiative considers the people who can make or break its success. Value chain analysis breaks down both primary and support activities that create customer value, helping organizations focus on what truly differentiates them. Concept modeling defines shared terminology and relationships between key ideas, ensuring clarity across departments. This is especially important in large organizations, where different teams use different vocabularies for the same thing. And finally, capability and value stream modeling, the visual backbone of business architecture, showing how work happens and where value is created. Each of these techniques ties back to BABOK, helping analysts develop structured, traceable models that support strategy and execution. To bring everything together, let's look at a practical example: a healthcare organization undergoing service transformation. The organization's vision was clear: deliver more patient-centered care and improve service efficiency. Using the business motivation model, the BA defined goals, such as reducing wait times and improving patient satisfaction. Next, through capability mapping, they identified maturity gaps, for instance, outdated appointment systems and fragmented billing. Then, using value stream design, they mapped the patient journey, from initial contact to diagnosis, treatment, billing, and follow-up, identifying bottlenecks that delayed service. Finally, they aligned processes and governance, ensuring clear accountability and regulatory compliance. The results were tangible: 30% reduction in average patient wait times, streamlined processes across departments, and measurable improvement in satisfaction scores. This is a great example of how strategic business architecture can drive real operational transformation. Let's now talk about what truly differentiates expert business architects. The first principle is strategic alignment. Always begin with the organization's strategy. If your architecture doesn't tie directly to business goals, it risks becoming an academic exercise. Remember, architecture that doesn't enable strategy is just documentation. Second, focus on traceability. Metric.com/recording. You should be able to draw a straight line from a strategic goal to the capabilities and processes that support it. This kind of linkage gives leadership confidence, and it's exactly what BABOK means by ensuring solution alignment. Third, communicate visually. Architects often deal with abstract ideas, but visuals make those ideas concrete. A capability map or value stream diagram turns complexity into clarity, helping stakeholders instantly see what matters. Fourth, assess continuously. Architecture evolves with the business. What worked last year may not fit tomorrow, so make evaluation part of your regular cadence. And finally, enable agile governance. Governance shouldn't be bureaucracy, it should empower responsiveness. Good governance is like traffic signals. It guides flow, but never stops progress. Follow these principles, and your architecture will not just describe the organization, it will drive it forward. As we wrap up Module 12, let's take a moment to reflect. The business architecture perspective gives analysts a way to connect vision to execution, turning strategic goals into operational results. It's built on 3 foundational elements: the business motivation model, defining the why; capability mapping, defining the what; and value streams, defining the how. When you align these with governance, processes, and ecosystems, you create an organization that's agile, accountable, and value-driven. From a CBAP point of view, business architecture demonstrates strategic thinking. Your ability to look across the enterprise, and ensure every initiative contributes to overall business success. So, as you continue your journey, remember, you're not just analyzing processes, you're architecting transformation. You're not just gathering requirements, you're enabling vision. That's what being a world-class business analyst is all about. Congratulations, you've completed Module 12, the Business Architecture Perspective.